In this episode, we're going to talk about how to get free. That's right, free $0 advertising for your business.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Welcome to another episode of the Rainmaker Family Show. Steven and I are here. Little Oliver is also with us. He's taking a cat nap, but we promise that what we're about to share with you will not make you want to fall asleep. If anything, it will make you want to jump up right now because we're going to give you some practical things on how to actually optimize free platforms that you probably already have to drive more sales to your business.
A lot of people think, oh, I got a business, I need a website, I need all these things. And really, I would recommend you start with free. You start with things that you probably already have. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode is how to optimize the places you're already on when it comes to online websites, things like Facebook, things like Instagram, places you already are, how to optimize those for sales in your business. So this episode is going to be very actionable. We're going to be walking you through, and I'd actually recommend if you're near a computer or something like that, you pull up your Instagram, you pull up your Facebook, and you make a mental list or even a list on paper of to-dos from this episode of ways you could optimize your profile further to drive sales for your business. A lot of people don't think about this, but you have people looking at you every day online. I don't care how unpopular or popular you think you are. The fact is the internet is a big place and people are clicking around all the time. If you have an Instagram, if you have a Facebook, anything that's public out there, most likely you are getting traffic every single day. When we say the word traffic, we mean that's people going to your website, people going to your Facebook profile. Now, Facebook doesn't release this data to us of who exactly is looking at our profile. That might be a little creepy, but I promise you, it's happening every single day.
And what if you could capitalize on that free traffic that was coming your way and get more sales?
I remember the first time we did this was on our Facebook profile. So I'm going to start there. If you have a Facebook profile, pull it up right now and see how it looks. Now, I get it. Like if you're on Facebook just for personal reasons, that's totally why we were there to start. But now we're pretty much only on there for business reasons. And a lot of times we are really passionate about our businesses. We're really passionate about the things we're putting our hand to. And you can optimize your personal profile. Maybe you still post family photos, you still do those things on there. But if someone's just looking at your profile, right? How is it optimized so people know what's available to them when they're coming to look at it? So if you scroll on your Facebook right now, you have all this real estate. You have the cover photo at the top. You have your name, you have your profile photo, a bio section. You have all these things you can customize on your profile. I remember like back in the MySpace days, right? It was very all about customizing your profile, getting it the right colors, having the music playing, having your friends on there, right? It's the same thing. It's just a little bit, more mature on Facebook, right? And so I want to start with the top, the cover photo.
And as you're pulling that up, just another real life story for you. Steven and I were in the wedding industry for years. And when we were first starting out in our business, we would post photos of the engagement sessions and weddings that we were doing. And pretty soon, several years into our business, we get inquiries from bride and grooms who had been following us. They would say things like, I've been following you from the very beginning, and I knew that I wanted you to be my wedding photographer even before I met my future spouse. And that is the power of free social media. And I can bet you if you're starting a business and you're talking about it from here or there, which I want to encourage you to do, people are going to start following along and being a part of the journey. Even with Rainmakers, there are so many local Rainmakers. I mean, Rainmakers is global. So there's people from all over the world that join our program that change their family's finances forever. But specifically in Chico, I know that we've had Rainmakers join that have been following us from the beginning. We were just talking about how Amazon was changing our lives. And then through that process, they are becoming Rainmakers. And the biggest thing I've heard from these students of ours that have joined Rainmakers, they said, I started following you from the beginning because of social media, because of these free things we're about to teach you. And my only regret with Rainmakers is that I wish I would have started sooner. So how powerful is that? So like Steven said, go ahead and pull up your Facebook page and we're going to start right with the cover photo.
I know it's scary to talk about your business when it's just an idea, when it's just a seed, when it's not flourishing and thriving, but there's something about documenting the journey that one gives you more ownership over it, but two opens up more opportunity for you. Not only is it going to potentially lead into sales, it may lead to business partnerships, it may lead to resources, connections. You never know. So start talking about your business. And one of the first ways you can do this without posting like all over the place about it is your cover photo. This is the big photo that goes across the whole top of your Facebook. It's like a billboard for yourself. Okay. Now you can put family photos there. That's fine. But if you run a business, why not start talking about yourself there? Okay. So if you go to my profile, Stephen Diaz on Facebook, you'll see it says join the next Rainmaker challenge. Click here to enroll, click follow. And so when you find my profile, if you're not friends with me, that click follow is pointing to the little follow button right there. And so you can follow my profile because I do post stuff on social media all the time. And I'm encouraging people with a call to action, something to do when they get to my profile.
And the fun thing about when you go to change your cover photo or update it, like I'm even thinking like the photos that we both Steve and I have right now don't have Oliver in them yet. So we'll go ahead and update them. But when you do update them, you know, that gets posted on social media. So it's another opportunity for people who have been following you or are friends with you for that to pop up in their newsfeed again and just remind them about your business and what you're doing if you choose to optimize.
Now the cover photo here is not anything fancy. And you can look fancy too by going to Canva. Okay, so that's the first resource we're going to mention. Canva.com, Canva. Canva.com has some pre-made templates just to make your thing look awesome. So go to Canva, search for Facebook profile banner, okay, or Facebook banner, and it'll pop up as a template. You can find a bunch of pre-made templates, and all you have to do is replace the text, add in some photos, and you're good to go. Now, what we would recommend for your cover photo is some sort of call to action. And I like to say click here because when they click on your cover photo, it takes them to really just the photo on Facebook, but then they can see the description of the photo. And in the description, you can put some sort of call to action like, here's my website, here's a link to my sales funnel, here's, message me the word coach for more details. You can have some sort of call to action in the cover photo description, but you want to get people to click that cover photo. So I typically will say, click this photo. I even in mine, you'll see I have a like fake button on there. So if you click that, it opens up the cover photo and it gives you more details about what I'm promoting with that cover photo. Now, the cover photo is really, I feel like, the most valuable real estate because it's the first thing they see. It takes up about half the page. So make sure you take some time to dig into like, what is it my business is really about? And how do I want to represent it here on the cover photo? Again, don't stress too much because you can change this all the time. But if you do want to dig into that a little bit more, I would maybe listen to episode 61, which is about how to make people say, tell me more when they hear about your business. Mike Verrett came on and talked about kind of creating an elevator pitch, like a one sentence about your business. And that's the type of thing to put in a cover photo.
I think this is especially true if you are an author, you're a coach, you're a speaker, you're in that space. I mean, e-commerce is totally valuable as well because you can link to whatever you're selling with your website or whether it's Amazon. But I think specifically, like there was an online seminar happening and I was just curious to see like who some of the other speakers were. And, it wasn't like a massive seminar that was happening. It was definitely on a smaller scale, but like a bunch of the women who were trainers and coaches and all those things, like I went to go look them up on social media, other platforms, and none of them had anything optimized. So I didn't even know who they were. And I know like when I'm going to like a conference or anything, like I always love to look up speakers and coaches. Like I want to know who those people are. That's just me personally. And so I would just encourage you to do that as well if you're in that space as well as e-commerce.
Now, down below the cover photo, you have your name, which I probably wouldn't recommend putting your business as your name on Facebook. Keep it personal. You do have your profile photo. Now, for your profile photo, I like to make something that has my face fairly large in the photo, only because a lot of people are on mobile. So when I'm commenting on groups and engaging with people on these social media platforms, like my face is easily seen. It's not just this it's not a far away photo of me. It's a nice big photo of my face. Now, yes, I would love to have Chelsea and my babies in my main photo, but for the purpose of how I'm using social media, which is typically networking and business, I want to have that face nice and big. Now, I have seen people, I feel like this is a trend for a while. People were putting like rings around their photos, like a red ring or something like that. It made it look like you were live or made it look like you're being highlighted in some way. I don't have that on my profile right now, but I have seen people do that just to make their profile stand out a little bit. For a while, I don't know if mine's doing it right now, but you could upload. Let me see if you can still do this. I don't know if you could still do this on Facebook, but for a while you could upload a profile video, and it was pretty fun way to kind of get your profile to stand out a little bit. I uploaded a video which I made on Canva of a still photo, and so it was a still photo for like 4 seconds, and then for like a second it kind of like flashed something else, and then it went back to the still photo. And so like if you're on Facebook just scrolling and kind of looking through Facebook, you would see like something really quickly out of the corner of your eye, but then you'd be like, what is that? And it just would catch your attention, right? It was just an attention getter. Like let's say I'm in a Facebook group of a bunch of other people. I'm trying to market. I'm trying to, get attention for my business, right? Or I'm trying to just build relationships. It's just like if there's 100 comments and your eyes are drawn to my one comment because of this little flash, like that is one thing that I was doing for a while. Now I don't think that's a thing on Facebook anymore. Maybe it is. It might be on the phone. Sometimes on the computer, there's different features than the phone. I think that's a on the phone feature, but they may have taken it away. But that was the fun thing I did for a season, just to have like this little flash on my thing. And it was just one of those things that got people to kind of second take and look a little bit deeper into my profile.
So, the next section on your Facebook profile that we want to talk about is called your intro section. So, when you're looking at your Facebook, it is directly below your Facebook profile photo and your name. And it says intro. And in that, Stephen and I recommend if you have a website or other social media platforms that people can connect with you on, I would put it there, as well as maybe a one sentence explaining what you do for your business. So, like you could say, like, if you're a mom, like I'm a mom of two and I sell on Amazon or whatever. I'm a mom of two and I have a brand that helps make moms' lives easier. And then, or I'm the owner of whatever your brand is. So just a little quick one sentence intro of who you are in another place where people can find your product or your coaching service or whatever it is.
Right below that intro, you have your work and schooling history. I kind of see this as like a little bit of a resume, but also you can use this as a promotional feature. Now, when you add a life event to Facebook, over on the right hand side on Facebook, there you can see where you can post on your feed, right? Post a photo, post a live video. There's also a button that says life event. So, if you have a baby, you have a birthday, you have a job promotion, you can mark that as a life event on Facebook, and that gets seen by even more people. So if you are launching a business or you are in process of launching a business and you haven't told people yet, do a life event right now and say starting a business. Like it's okay to tell people you're starting, but when you do that life event, it's going to get seen by a lot more people than just a normal post on Facebook. But also with that, you can use these life events and they will show up, especially the ones that are like schooling and things like that, in your left hand column on your intro section. And if you look at my profile, I am actually using the top job post. So, like, you can put your job history, like where you work, what you do, right? So, like, if you are starting a business, saying like CEO at blank, right? And put that at the top, right? For us, I'm using this as my Facebook profile to help people get into selling on Amazon, which is one of the things we do in Rainmakers. And so I put my work as Amazon.com. So like it says like when I'm putting this on Facebook, right? It says like, where do you work? I said Amazon.com. And then for my job title at that role at Amazon.com, I said, ask me about making passive income at. And this is just a little hack, but now it shows up in my profile where it says, instead of saying like co-founder at Rainmakers, it says, ask me about making passive income at Amazon.com. So it's just another little hook that I put in there on my profile. And you could totally do this. So instead of a job title, put like a call to action, right? And then for the actual job, you could put the business or the opportunity that you're into. Two more places to optimize on Facebook before we hop over to Instagram. Okay. Facebook has a new feature where you can pin posts to your Facebook profile, which is pretty cool. So if you have a pretty awesome accolade or a promotion or an announcement, pin that to the top of your feed. That's an awesome way when these visitors are coming to your feed every single day. They're going to see that thing first. They're going to see that thing at the top. And then the last thing I like to optimize on your Facebook profile is your featured photos. So you can actually, as you scroll down on your profile, there's a kind of like a grid, like a 9 photo grid. It almost looks like an Instagram. You can actually choose which photos go in those 9 grid, and you can choose featured photos, like ones that you want highlighted. And so this is a great place for customer reviews, for social proof, a photo with you with that famous person. Like this is a great place to build trust with potential customers who are seeing your Facebook profile. So those are some quick tips on how to optimize your Facebook profile. I would go do some of those things right now because you never know what's going to lead to a potential customer, potential interaction, potential partner, or resource in your business just by optimizing and talking about what you're doing on a free platform. This is free advertising for your business. All it takes is a little bit of setup.
So next up, we're going to go head on over to Instagram. And when thinking about Instagram, there are a couple of things that you want to focus on. So your name, again, your profile photo, your link in bio, where do you want to send people, and then your description of who you are and what you do.
Similarly, on Facebook, you're going to want your profile photo to be something where your faces are nice and big in the photo. Or if it's a brand, you could do a logo. That's totally fine. But I like to put a person behind the brand if possible, just so people can connect with a human. And Instagram, especially the comments, like the little profile photo is so small. So make sure your face is nice and zoomed in there. I know it may be awkward to zoom in really tight on your face. If you want to make sure you're recognizable in the comments. So when you're building relationships on these platforms, people are getting to know who you are. The next place you can optimize, and we don't have this currently on the Rainmaker family Instagram, but for the example of our previous business, which was in the wedding industry, I see a lot of photographers doing this, and they actually use the name on Instagram as actually more of a search term. And so, how Instagram works when you go in the search bar and you're searching for a photographer in Los Angeles, right? Try this on Instagram right now. Search, I don't know, California photographer, right? Because people are not always going to Instagram to find things, but sometimes they are. They're looking for your business, right? And so if you go on Instagram and you just search California photographer and you just look at the search results that come up, you can see that a handful of people come up in the search results who have California photographer as their name on Instagram. So instead of putting Trevor Clavery as their name on Instagram, they're going to put California photographer. So first name California, last name photographer. And then they use their Instagram name, like they're actually at Trevor Photography, as their actual name. And so this is just a little hack. If you have a industry or you're in a business where people are actually searching the thing, like they're searching for cake Chico, cake Chicago, right? Cake maker Chicago, right? You can put that as your name on Instagram, and it's going to help you show up in some of those search results on Instagram. Again, that doesn't work for every single industry, but definitely search some keywords around your industry to see if it's a thing. And if it is, you can use that as your name, and then your Instagram, what's the handle? Is that what it's called? Just look at your Instagram, okay? There's a username at the top, right? This is the thing that's there. There's no spaces in it typically. Ours is the Rainmaker family, no spaces, all lowercase. That's your username. On Instagram, you're gonna hit the little at symbol and say the Rainmaker family. That's your username. Then you have your name on Instagram, right? And typically you would put like Steven Diaz, Chelsea Diaz there, right? What I'm saying is some people are using the name field for a search term. So Chicago cake baker or something like that, right? So if you are in an industry where people are searching you out on Instagram, put a keyword that people are searching like that in your name.
And then when you're going in to change and edit your profile, you'll see the name, which Stephen, and username, which Stephen just talked about. Then you'll have your website, which I highly recommend if you have a website to put one in. There's so many platforms that you can get a website for free or, free trials. Just see how that works for you. And then below that is your bio, which is another important place when people are searching you out or wanting to know more about what you do.
Right now, I think we were using one called Milkshape. Right now, I think we're using a link in bio. There's so many link in bio softwares out there right now. So if you need just like a shell of a website that's just going to do the job to get people more information, the one that we used for a season was called Milkshake. And so if you want your milkshake to bring all the boys to the yard,
you could try Milkshake
you
app.
can, yeah, it's called Milkshake app. But again, there's like so many of them right now.
Though, yeah.
That one's an app on your phone. You just design the website on your phone and boom, you have it. But again, like, don't complicate this thing. If you just need to talk to people to make sales in your business, just tell people to DM you.
Yeah.
DM stands for direct message. Just say, DM me for 50% off or DM me for the hookup, right? And people will start a conversation with you if
Mhm.
they're really into what you're doing. Start there. That's totally fine. You can keep it very bare bones, very basic. You don't need a fancy website to start.
And then the next section, we want to encourage you to try and think about updating over time or at least putting something out there right now is right below. So you go through and you got your name, your bio, you've got a website. Below that is called your highlights and or like the highlight reel. So that is where if you've done like an Instagram story, you can save things to there. So if you're a product shop owner and you've got like summer product line, you could say that like summer products or winter products. And you can save stories so that people can look through your videos that you've already put out there.
Yeah, a lot of our rainmakers who are doing e-commerce, they're getting reviews for their products on Amazon all the time. And so what a lot of them will do is just screenshot those reviews on Amazon and then post them in a story highlight on Instagram. The cool thing with those story highlights is they're permanent. They stay on your profile forever. And so it's a nice thing as you're posting different stuff on Instagram and that's like expiring. Basically, it's like going away as you post more things. The highlights are always there. So when someone comes to your profile, having like a customer testimonials or raves from the community, whatever you want to call it. And then having just a bunch of testimonials, it's a great way to build social proof and trust for your brand on Instagram.
So, Steven's going to do a quick recap of what we've just talked about. And I know we went more in depth on Facebook and Instagram just because of the platforms that at least our audience is spending a lot of time on. But you can take this information and really run with it and use it on different platforms if you're on there, like TikTok or LinkedIn or other places like that. But it can apply in all areas.
So, takeaways from today: go optimize these free places on the internet where people are looking at you every day. This is potential traffic to your business, this is potential connections. And just by giving it a little bit of optimization, by tweaking a couple things, can really help you in the right direction. So, do something catchy at the top, catch people's attention, speak their language in a nice, short, succinct bio. What are you all about? Again, if you want to go more in depth on that, episode 61 really goes into that. Okay. Then give them a call to action. A call to action is what should they do now that they're on your profile? Where do you want to send them next? Is it to message you on that platform? Is it to go to a website and put their email in? Is it to go to your storefront? Give them a call to action of some sort because there is a percentage of those people who will see your stuff for free out there and click all the way throughout your whole funnel or website and go buy. And so go take action on those things.
Thanks for tuning in. And Ollie slept the whole time. Good job, buddy. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Rainmaker Family Show. Hey, if you are not a part of our Rainmaker Mastermind, we have a new opportunity for you to book a strategy call with one of our coaches.
If you want to do that, go to makeitrainmama.com/podcast. That's mama, MOMMA. Makeitrainmama.com/podcast. And you can check out the case study of our Rainmaker program as well as book a one-on-one strategy call with one of our coaches.